So a lot of times when someone is facing a divorce, they know what they need to do, and their subconscious gets involved. And there's this thing called a fear barrier. You start out where you are now, and as you start moving from where you are now to where it is that you want to be, your subconscious puts up a fear barrier. That fear barrier is designed to turn you back around to where you are. So then you finally do something to overcome that fear barrier. And what does your subconscious do? Puts up another bigger fear barrier. It's all designed to turn you back around to where it is that you want to do. And then you realize, oh, I got that first fear barrier there too. So you wind up just cycling back and circling back and forth. Oh, the fear barrier every time. The first time that a fear barrier is successful to send you back to where you were, then your subconscious learns how to manipulate you to send you back to where, because your subconscious is afraid of the unknown and afraid of change, because the subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if it's not. And so people spend their whole life cycling back. And they're like, well, as soon as the kids are graduated from high school, then we'll get a divorce. You know, I know I'm in a horrible relationship. I know I'm getting physically abused, you know, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman or what, then, but I'll wait till the kids are out. But then you realize the kids are out, and there's another bigger fear barrier. Well, they're doing real well in college. I want to make sure that their college is paid for, and I don't want this to disturb their college. And then after that, it's, well, they're getting ready to get married, so I'm going to stay in it. And people spend years and years and years. And what is it? Every single time is a fear barrier, because the subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if it's not. But the subconscious also starts injecting chaos, because the subconscious knows that this is not right. And so it tries to sabotage yourself, that when you're facing the fear barrier, that it's also putting up, that there are things that maybe make you to where you can't go. So chaos keeps coming in. And that's what leads to things like finally physical abuse happens. And then, well, I'm going to forgive the physical abuse and go back. And then, well, the physical abuse happens again. But this time it's a little more. The next time, if it gets a little bit more. So you just cycle back and forth through all these different fear barriers. And there's always 3 fear barriers before you actually get a divorce. One is calling the divorce attorney. Second is having and paying for and having the consultation with a divorce attorney. And then the third one is signing the contract, paying the money, and going through with a divorce. And even after that, it's don't go back, because there's a blessing that's in this. The farther and the more away that you get from where you are now to where it is that you want to be, the biggest but the closest fear barrier to where it is that you want to be is the last one. So when you achieve and pass all those fear barriers, then you get to be where it is that you want to be, and then you're in safety. This paradigm perfectly describes battered spouse syndrome, because believe it or not, as a divorce attorney, I see as many of these happen to women as I do to men, and men as I do to women. I don't see a gender preference in it, because there's plenty of men that take physical abuse and they're like, well, yeah, I know she was hitting me, but you know, she's a woman and I'm a man. And there's a lot of shame in it. And there's mental abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. And essentially, if you're in an unhealthy marriage and an unhealthy relationship, you need to end the unhealthy relationship. There's 2 ways you can do that. One is to make it a healthy relationship again. That's the preferred method. But if you can't do that, then you need to get as healthy of a divorce or healthy of a breakup as you possibly can. If you're not married to him, still, you don't need to be in an unhealthy relationship. And definitely don't do it just for money, because then you're just a financial prisoner. A prison is not a relationship. A relationship is not a prison. You should not be kept in that. But so many battered people, you give them the key to the cage and they won't open they're afraid to leave, because the subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if it's not. The reason I'm making this video is to help you understand this phenomenon so that you can break this cycle and break the chain and overcome your fear barriers. What you're feeling now, especially if you've had a consultation with me and not hired us to go forward and we've sent you this video, it's because we believe that you should. And I promise you this, I don't like divorce. I don't believe in divorce. I hate it. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. However, there are some people that your marriage is not a marriage, it's a prison. I don't even consider that to be a divorce. It's not a choice or something that you're doing. It's to save you and to protect you, that you need to get out of that relationship. 1 plus 1 is not supposed to equal -1. And if you're a broken person, and half a person, half and half, two bad people, they don't make a whole. They make the part that's missing subtracts from the other person. So it's less than 0. It's -2. 1 plus 1 should equal at least 2. That's what a relationship is about. And if you're not in a healthy relationship, either make it a healthy relationship, go get marriage counseling, work on the relationship, get financial counseling, go to Financial Peace University by Dave Ramsey, $129 and 2 hours a week for 9 weeks, and can absolutely get you and your spouse on the same track about money. And go to church, synagogue, religious organization. There are plenty of places that will help give you marriage counseling, or through your insurance, go to a professional licensed marriage counselor, or just flat out pay for it. Because it's a lot cheaper to pay $5,000 or $10,000 worth of counseling than it is $5 to $50 or $100 or $250,000 worth of divorce. And I'm not saying all divorces cost that, but if you have any substantial amount of money, it certainly can. The more money you have, the more money a divorce can cost. It's a percentage usually of what you're fighting about, and you want to do that in a healthy way. And I promise you, there are attorneys that are out there that believe, like we do, in getting our clients through the divorce process in the healthiest way possible. The strategy that we do as our first strategy is we declare peace and then negotiate the terms of the peace. Sometimes we have to increase the fighting in order to end the fighting, but that's never our first choice. We're here to end that fighting. We're here to get you into a healthy relationship. That's what we believe in. If you want revenge as part of your divorce, we're definitely the wrong law firm for you. And I would suggest that you change your mindset. I know it's difficult, and I know that temptation is there, but please be a wise enough person to overcome that. And we will help clients overcome that type of thing. Most people, once I even say, look, you have my encouragement and permission to let go of your desire for revenge, because you can only destroy yourself, your children, and everybody, and it's never going to be satisfying. And even if you were to get it and you put them in a worse position, that's still not the right thing to do. And it doesn't benefit you or your children or anything. The reward for marrying you should not be destruction of the other person. It should be you wish them the best in the world. The marriage didn't work out. You're not going to be living as husband and wife anymore. But it doesn't mean you're not still mom and dad. So we want you to be the best parents that you can be, and we will help you put in a healthy solution for that. We can almost always get better solutions by not going to court than we can by going to court. But there's things that you have to do. You want to be getting the agreement that you think you're making, even if you think the two of you already have an agreement and you're completely amicable. Then you hire us to represent you and make sure that the agreement that you think you're entering into is the actual agreement that you're entering into, because some things are not intuitive and they're counterintuitive, and they do things that you don't think that they do. And some things that you think that they do, things don't actually work that way. You need to have a lawyer that does this for you. And we want to get you through the divorce process in the healthiest way possible, but don't get stuck in your fear barriers. That's what you're facing, and it's very natural. And don't think, oh, I'm getting a message from God about that. No, you're getting a message from not God. You're getting a message from your own fears to do that. You have to have the wisdom and logic to overcome your fear and in your heart and those things in order to get to a healthy relationship. You have to have proper boundaries with different things. All of these things are things that we're going to help you through. And if you can reconcile your marriage, we're going to be there and talking with you and making sure that you're not falling into a trap to where you're going to lose your kids, you're going to lose your own identity and own self. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for the benefit of the marriage. It should build you up, both of you. And we want to make sure that you are healthy going forward and that you're not losing everything for all the right reasons in your heart, and you have all the right motivations. But a lot of this stuff doesn't work necessarily the way that you think it does, and it's not going to feel necessarily the way that you think it does. And you have to be able to have enough wisdom in order to overcome those things. We're here to help you with that. This is the Lawyer Dana Show.